Hello everyone, this is a video intended for Club Contessa. They're proud owners of Contessa. We had a good couple of days down in Virginia horse trials. I drove the horses down there on Monday and schooled them there Monday afternoon, and dressage and show jumping was on Tuesday, and then we did the cross country this morning. And Contessa was fantastic. I sort of about to do a big move up to advanced, and unfortunately the only advanced in our sights is the Great Meadow 4-star short, which is a hell of a first advance, but Contessa's absolutely ready for it. And I sort of did this event as a bit of I wanted to do one event to sort of get a feel for her before we take her to Great Meadow, and she was great. As I said before, it was really hot and it was pretty dry. I mean, there was a storm that hit yesterday afternoon and they aerated the cross country, but I still chose not to go too fast on her cross country. She doesn't have the best feet, and I sort of trying to limit the wear and tear on her legs. She looks good on trot up. She did really well in all three phases. You see the dressage we're seeing now, she's calling out to her friends there. She's really smart in the dressage. I've just started riding a little bit more the last sort of 10 days, and the dressage is actually the part that I'm stiffest and sorest on. But Silver and Mike have done a good job in schooling her on the flat. We've been concentrating mostly on the advanced movements, even though this is a 3-star short test, so it's sort of the equivalent of intermediate. And she did really well in the dressage. I think she got a score of 30, and there was about 20 or 30 horses in the class, good horses too. She didn't really make any bad mistakes. I was sort of hoping to get her in the 20s and in the scorings of the 20s, but she just missed that mark of 30. I think she finds these canter walks hard. She's got a really big, long canter, which means she's a good galloper, but it's hard to sit her back and do really crisp canter walk. She did that one all right. The next one wasn't as good. She show jumped really well. I took her up to Princeton in New Jersey last week and jumped her around the meter 20 class there, and she was fantastic. And this weekend she finished in 8th place, but I was sort of just using this event as more of a run around rather than trying to go flat out. I think if I would have pushed her for the time, she would have been in the top placing. But we've got bigger fish to fry later this year. I'm hoping to get her to either Malvern Park 4-star long or Ocala 4-star long, which will mean that she does Great Meadow next, which she'll be very green at. So I'm going to just take her nice and slowly around that, just get her around, and then most probably Plantation 4-star short. So she's up with the big leagues now, well, pretty soon. She's been training really well. Obviously one of my favourites. She gave me a good ride in the cross country this morning. She zipped around nicely. There's not really any jumps that phased her. It wasn't the toughest track. There was still a fair bit to do. Like there was a corner in the water on a sharp turn to a skinny, and it was a good fitness run actually. There's a big long hill in Virginia horse trials. It's in Lexington, Virginia. But all in all, I'm pretty happy with this dressage test. And then about to see the show jumping. I thought she show jumped well. I tried her actually in a softer bit. In the show jumping at Princeton, she seems to fight my hand a little bit on landing. She gets a little bit strong and keen.
Next to go, we have number 27, Boyd Martin, riding Contessa.
So I tried her actually in a softer bit, just to see if I could get her to land just a little bit smoother. She still lands and tries to yank the reins out of my hand. And I had one cheap rail, I think it's the next rail here. It was a short 7 strides to the combination, and I sat up too early and she just nicked it behind, just breathed on it. So I need to follow her a little bit more in the air, and as soon as that happened, I knew the mistake I made is almost opening my upper body up a little bit too early. So every vertical after this now, you can see me actually gently sort of try and follow her and finish off her jump. And she seems like she's pulled up well from this. Like I said before, I went around about 30 seconds over the time, and she's fit. She still needs to get a little bit fitter, but now that I'm back in the swing of things, we can really start humming along. So our next event will most likely be Great Meadow 4-star short, which will be a big test for her, but she's up to it, and I'll keep you all posted up until then.